Is Pep Guardiola about to sign a new goalkeeper? The name will definitely surprise City fans. Manchester United are ready to splash €40 million on an Inter Milan star, but why do they need this transfer? Xabi Alonso has started a major clear-out at Real Madrid, and there are already some early casualties. Barcelona are joining the race for Denzel Dumfries, but how likely are they to outbid the competition? All that and more in today's update. Drop a like, just like a free agent. Costs nothing, but brings a whole lot of value. Let's hit that simple goal. 450 likes. Time to find out who's been almost signed this time. Let's go. The Papi Carlo era is over in Madrid. The family vibes, the comfy chairs, gone. Xabi Alonso's walked in, and the first thing he grabs, a massive broom. Florentino Perez has clearly given him full control, and Xabi not come to play. It's a full-on deep clean at Real Madrid. Let's start with a name, you know, Rodrigo. Now on the surface, it seems straightforward. Arsenal are still drooling over him, and Perez, cool as you like, slaps on a price tag, €90 million. No haggling, no back and forth. One line, the price is on the tag. Take it or leave it. But here's the funny bit. Arsenal's strategy, if you can even call it that. They're waiting, like actual hunters in a bush, just sitting tight until Rodrigo starts giving teary interviews. Step 1, let him moan in public. Step 2, waltz up to Florentino and go, well, he wants to leave, don't he? Fancy knocking a few quid off? Transfer market geniuses. Pure comedy. And to be fair, for Rodrigo, the move does make sense. Now, Mbappe's in the building. His place in the starting 11 is, let's say, up in the air, and not in a good way. Next up, Ferland Mendy. This one's not about age or money or him wanting to leave. Nope, this is just Xabi being Xabi. The new gaffer scans the squad, looks Mendy dead in the eye and goes, not my type, doesn't fit, list him. Yesterday, he's an untouchable fullback at the biggest club in the world. Today, surplus to requirements. Just because the new manager isn't feeling it. That's football at the top level for you. Zero romance. Alonso isn't here to fit in. He's here to tear down and build new. And for that boldness, fair play. The main act of this entire clear-out, Endrick, the boy was sold to us as the second coming of Ronaldo, and now he hasn't even touched the Bernabeu grass properly, and already we're hearing whispers of him being shipped off to Juventus. Yep, Juve have apparently made a proper offer, and here comes the tragic comedy bit, the reason behind it. The lad himself has personally voiced concern that he might miss the 2026 World Cup due to lack of game time. His words, I often think about it. I'm scared I won't go to the World Cup. Mate, seriously, what did you expect? Signing for a club where the front line is Mbappe, Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo. That they just step aside and say, come on in, young fella, warm yourself by the fire, and then you've got Alonso coming in with his vision. Turns out he doesn't want another flicky, flary dribbler up front. No, he wants a seasoned striker, a big lad who can win headers, a plan B kind of guy, like Joselu with cheat codes. And Endrick, standing there with his 173 centimetres. Bless him. That's the opposite of what Xabi looking for. Let's be real. This potential move to Juventus? It's not a failure. It might be his only sensible option to save his top-level career. Juve are rebuilding. They'd give him actual time, maybe even make him a focal point. Stay at Madrid? He's looking at bench duty, coming on in 80th minute blowouts, and that's if he's lucky. So, here's my question to you. Everything happening at Real Madrid right now, is it ruthless genius from a club building an unstoppable machine, or is it the cold conveyor belt of modern football, snapping up talents like Pokemon and binning the ones that don't fit like last season's boots? And specifically with Endrick, is he just another victim of the system? Or did he walk into this mess with his eyes wide shut? Looks like Barcelona might have finally found a way to patch up that leaky defence. And guess what? It could cost them just €25 million. Yep, peanuts. While everyone's losing their minds over Nico Williams, Barca's got a much more urgent issue on their hands. Jules Koundé. The lad played 53 matches last season. 53. I'm telling you, he practically lived at the stadium. And where did that get them? Right, pulled hamstring at the worst possible moment. And the worst part, no real backup. Zilch, enter, Denzel Dumfries, the Dutch bulldozer from Inter. He's 29 in his prime, and last season, 11 goals, 6 assists. Let that sink in. He's a defender, 11 plus 6 from the flanks. Some strikers dream of those numbers. And Hansi Flick? Oh, he's seen this lad in the Champions League. He's obsessed. Loves the power, the speed, that raw physical force down the right. He wants someone who can bulldoze opponents. And Dumfries? He's the perfect fit. Now here's the best bit, and I'm not joking. Fabrizio Romano confirmed it. He's got a release clause. 25 million euros. It's only valid till mid-July. So, time's ticking, and here's where we dive headfirst into classic Barcelona chaos. You've got a top-tier fullback, stats through the roof, going cheap. Your current right-back's clinging on by a thread. Your new manager is basically shouting, I need this guy. So what does Barca do? Oh, of course. Wait. Let's sort out Nico first. Maybe sell someone after. Then maybe if the funds are still there, we'll think about going for Dumfries. Are you serious? By the time they finish faffing about, mid-July will be staring them in the face. Clause gone, Inter laughing, slaps on a new price tag, double, triple, and Barca left panicking again. This is classic modern Barca, isn't it? They find the perfect, affordable solution and manage to bottle it completely. Because someone couldn't sort out priorities. So here comes the big question for you. Would you go all in for a tank like Dumfries on the right? Or let Koundé run himself into the ground again until the next injury? All for the sake of chasing another flashy winger? Genius plan for strengthening the squad? Or another textbook management disaster? Let me know in the comments. Don't hold back. If you thought things were quieting down after the Cunha signing and the almost done deal for Mbeumo, you were dead wrong. Manchester United have just crashed the party 2 feet first in the race for Hakan Çalhanoğlu. And no, this isn't just chatter, it's a concrete offer slapped right on Inter's desk. There's a proper queue forming for the Turk, you know. You've got a plucky Fulham, his beloved Galatasaray, and of course the lads from Saudi Arabia with their bottomless pockets. Inter, knowing full well they've got a player in high demand with a contract until 2027, have set a firm price tag, 40 million euros, not a penny less. For Galatasaray, which is supposedly the player's preferred destination, that's a nearly impossible sum, and just at that moment while everyone else is scratching their heads, in strolls Manchester United. Like a king, they've put their offer on the table and are just watching to see who dares to challenge it. But now for the most interesting part, why on earth do they need him? The answer, it seems, is locked inside the mind of Ruben Amorim. The gaffer is building his team around his favourite 3-4-3 formation, and he needs a brain in the centre of the park, not just another runner. He wants a man who can dictate the tempo and spray intelligent passes from deep. For that role, Çalhanoğlu is, on paper, the perfect candidate. Think about it. What's been Bruno Fernandes's main problem? He's forced to do absolutely everything. Tackle, carry the ball, create, and finish. He's been a one-man band. Amorim wants to put an end to that. The plan is this. Çalhanoğlu sits deeper, becoming that quarterback, controlling the rhythm and slicing open parked buses with his passing. His positional discipline and vision would liberate Bruno. The Portuguese Magnifico could finally stop playing with his back to goal and focus on what he does best, creating magic in the final third, arriving late in the box and smashing shots into the net. It's a potentially lethal combination. Hakan as the cool, calculating brain, Bruno as the fiery heart and attacking instinct. But, and it is a massive but. Firstly, the player is 31. Shelling out 40 million for a veteran is always a risk. Secondly, and this is the main event, he's coming to the Premier League. Serie A is a tactical chess tournament. The Premier League is a 95-minute rugby match. There's no time to lift your head and think. You just get clattered. Can Çalhanoğlu, who's accustomed to a different rhythm, adapt to this meat grinder? His intelligence and vision are world-class, but does he have the physicality to avoid being completely burnt out by December? So on one hand, we see a clear tactical plan from Amorim to build a balanced midfield. On the other, it's United taking another gamble, chucking a load of money at an aging player from a different league. Could Çalhanoğlu become United's very own Pirlo, or is this destined to be another eye-wateringly expensive mistake? While everyone's busy gawking at Real Madrid and their latest batch of Galacticos, and while Barca keeps starring in their usual soap opera, financial crisis, the never-ending story, there's someone else in Madrid who clearly didn't get the memo about staying humble. Diego Simeone's only gone and cracked open the checkbook, and I swear it must be bottomless. Atleti are out shopping like it's the end of days. So, shall we unpack it? Brace yourself. To warm things up, Matteo Ruggeri, fresh out of Atalanta. 20 million euros, 5-year deal. Now, no, he's not Theo Hernandez bombing forward and forgetting what defending is. And no, he's not Grandpa Robertson either. This lad's younger, hungrier, and just what old Cholo likes. A fullback who works his socks off and defends like his life depends on it. A proper hard-grafting wing-back. All right, decent start. But now, hold on to your seat, because here comes the main course. The Rojiblancos have just dropped a whopping 50 million euros for Alex Baena from Villarreal. Yep, the same Baena everyone wanted. Arsenal were keen, PSG were circling, Bayern sniffing around. Even Barca showed interest. And what did he do? He looked at them, shrugged, and said, "I'm going with Simeone." And you know what? That move makes total sense. Because Baena and Cholo, like two peas in an absolute war-torn pod. Baena's a footballing maniac, in the best possible way. Aggressive, relentless, the kind of guy who'd rather break his leg than lose the ball. He's not just a fighter, he's Cholo's dream soldier. But here's the real kicker. In the last 2 seasons, Baena has created more chances than any Atletico player during the entire Simeone era. Let that sink in. A side that's always slammed for lacking creativity has just signed a passing wizard. A pressing machine with flair, footwork, and a rocket of a shot. And get this, he fed Sørloth so many assists at Villarreal, the guy packed his bags and followed him straight to Madrid. And no, that's not the end of it. Rumour has it, Atleti are now eyeing up 2 Chelsea lads, Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson. Now, here's my take. Madueke? I've got doubts. Unreal dribbling, that's for sure. But Cholo doesn't want ballerinas, he wants warriors. Madueke is a bit too elegant for this rough-and-tumble crew. Jackson, though? Ooh, yes! That's got Simeone written all over it. This guy is chaos on 2 legs, collecting red cards like it's a hobby. Have you seen some of his scraps? That's exactly what Atleti thrive on. Cholo's probably rubbing his hands already, just thinking about the damage they can cause together. So tell me, what do you reckon about this new look Atletico? With Baena already in, and Jackson possibly on the way, are they genuinely ready to knock Real and Barca off their perch? Or will Baena's fiery personality end up blowing the whole dressing room sky high? The captain of Barcelona, the man who literally dragged them through their darkest times, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, is being actively pushed out the door. And guess who's standing first in the queue with a fat checkbook and a sly grin? Pep Guardiola and his Manchester City. Okay, let's break this down. First, the crisis in Manchester. The 2024-25 season for City was, let's be honest, a catastrophe. 0 trophies. And one of the key reasons, clear for everyone to see, was Ederson's form. The Brazilian, who was always a byword for reliability and brilliance with his feet, suddenly started having absolute shockers. His mistakes stopped being random and became a system that cost the team the title. For Guardiola, whose entire philosophy is built on his goalkeeper starting attacks with ice-cold composure, this has been driving him mad. Now, at the very same time, there's a whole other soap opera playing out in Catalonia. It seems Hansi Flick has his own vision. He apparently doesn't see a 33-year-old Ter Stegen, who only returned from a horrendous knee injury in May, as his undisputed number 1. What's more, the club has already signed Joan Garcia as the future first-choice keeper and Wojciech Szczęsny as his backup. They've already assembled a brand new goalkeeping unit, while their captain hasn't even had a chance to get properly match fit. For City and Pep, this is the jackpot. They have a massive problem in a crucial position. And then, out of nowhere, comes the chance to sign one of the best keepers in the world, one who fits their footballing philosophy to a T. This isn't just a transfer, it's a direct solution to the problem that cost them silverware. They get a top player who can do everything Pep needs, and who will be unbelievably motivated to prove that Barcelona made a monumental error. But for Barcelona, from a business perspective, yes, it's logical. You get one of the most gigantic contracts off the wage bill and plug some holes in the budget. But from a footballing and a human perspective, this is cynicism of the highest order. Ter Stegen isn't just some player, he is the leader, the captain, the symbol of an era. And to show him the door like this right after a major injury, it reveals just how desperate their situation really is. They're cutting into living flesh, amputating a healthy part of the team to save the whole organism from financial gangrene. And just imagine being Marc-Andre. You return from injury hell, and you discover the club has already found your replacement and is ready to sell you. And then your phone rings. It's Guardiola and he says, I need you. You will be a key part of my project. The choice seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? So here's the debate. On Barcelona's side, is this cold-blooded genius management to save the club, or is it the most shocking betrayal of a captain in modern history? And for City, is this really the transfer that guarantees their return to the throne? And most importantly, what would you do in Ter Stegen's position? Would you stay and fight where you've essentially been written off? Or would you leave for a manager who truly believes in you? Go on, I'm waiting for your detailed opinions in the comments. There is seriously a lot to discuss here.